What up, dudes? It's Gaz, and welcome to the Warframe video. So we try to keep you up to date with the news in Warframe on this channel. It might not be the most important thing that we're talking about today, but we're going to be going over some of the new Arcanes that are being released with Deimos Arcana, and we're also going to be going over how I got clickbaited by DE on their forums about a Nightwave end date, and we don't actually have a Nightwave end date. Because you know what? They did a real good job making me click on that. Alright, there's also a public test cluster that will be on PC this weekend. But, they probably won't let me in because, there's probably some hidden blacklist I'm on. Alright, so let's get that dev workshop up. And by the way, look at this Korra Tenogen skin. When we are done talking about this dev post they've got today, maybe you guys will have this on console. And just remember, on console you can buy Tenogen with plat, and on PC you gotta give them actual money for it. Alright, so let's get into that dev post, and let's just read the title of this real quick. Nightwave end date and November update. That makes it sound like it's two things bundled together. Just in my opinion. Alright, so let's read it out. Welcome to an unseasonably warm November in London, Ontario. I don't really care about that stuff. Alright, here's what we care about. When is Nightwave Series 3, the endless wave of Glassmaker enemies spawning in your missions and annoying you, ending? This is a big one. Our last October post detailed the release of the finale, and now that it's here, it's time to talk about wrapping things up. First, since we are launching our next gen, we don't want players joining the Tennofold and having a Glassmaker experience that's only going to last a month or less. Oh man, they found a way to make an excuse to have it go for even longer. For this reason, we are running Glassmaker until the end of 2020. And in January of 2021, we will be swapping on Intermission 3, which will bring back old items and offer duplicate protection for those. Oh my gosh, they are finally going to add duplicate protection. Oh my god, what am I going to get? What are you going to give me as duplicate protection? Because if you didn't know this before, guys, on the previous Nightwave intermissions, say level 20 was the Eidolon Ephemera, and you got a second Eidolon Ephemera, you get literally nothing for that level. So hopefully they make it something like 100 ducats or something like that. So yeah, as you can see right here, we do not have an actual date for Nightwave. They are going to make it last until January of 2021 at an unknown time. I'm going to say second week of January. It's currently the second week of November. So yeah, about 2 more months of Nightwave in my opinion. So that's really, really bad. Man, this is honestly just so terrible. I am so sick of those Glassmaker enemies. I think everyone is sick of those Glassmaker enemies at this point. They spawn too frequently. If you're gonna extend this for so long, you know what you should do? Make them spawn once per hour. They spawn once every 25 minutes. That is awful. That is so awful. We are sick of them. I have enough Nightwave rep for the entire season. Make them spawn less frequently. Please. Please. We'll post about our plans for Nightwave Series 3 of experiences, one of which is enduring a pandemic. Okay, whatever. Deimos Arcana, public test cluster coming this weekend. New Arcanes, new bounties, and more. So, yeah, they're actually going to let people spoil the new content who have access to the public test cluster. They have not done this in the past. All of the previous public test cluster testing has actually not contained any new weapons. It's always been just number tweaks. We had the Railjack Revisited, which was just damage numbers changing for these abilities, no actual new stuff added. Then we had the Steel Path after that, which is just bullet sponge mode. So yeah, this is brand new stuff they're doing here. These people on the test cluster will be able to try out new Arcanes, new weapons, new bounties, and new areas of the game before anyone who's not in the test cluster gets to run it. So, yeah, I guess screw you if you didn't get in there. Just don't watch anything on Twitch. Don't watch any videos because it's going to get spoiled for you. And I'm actually not very happy about that. Even if I do get access to it, it feels a little bit cheapened that this stuff that we've been waiting, Deimos Normal came out in August, and here we are 4 or 5 months later getting some new stuff that will be played by other random players before us. And they can just rub it in our face. That's really, really stupid. That's my opinion, of course. All right, so they're just refreshing you on what they're going to be adding with Deimos Arcana. There's no the Lavos, the new frame's not going to be in here. New Necromech, the second one, the melee one. Zaku changes they talked about over a month ago. The Gara Deluxe bundle. Steel Path nerf to the Steel Path Essence. And the Acolytes will be dropping Steel Essence. That's coming in this update, so farm it while you can. Conservation changes. I literally could not care any less about that because it's still, I did it when I had to because it's essential to get to Helminth, and I'm done with it forever. New Deimos bounties, like I said, people will be playing those before you guys, and me probably. Infested kit guns, we know nothing about those. We have some Arcanes to go over at the bottom here, but we don't know what the infested kit guns are going to do, like damage type wise. 7 new weapons, new Arcanes, and 4 augments. Okay. So let's get a sneak peek of those Arcanes. So I'm going to read these off, what they do. I mean, it's a lot to read, and I'll give some opinions on them, because keep on, these are basically set bonus Arcanes, I guess I explain them as. You are going to put these on the infested kit guns, these first one, the residual Arcanes. There's going to be 4 different ones. And then there's the Theorem Arcanes, which would be for your Warframe, and there's 3 of those. You have to have the infested kit guns and the Warframe ones to get the full effect out of this. So let's read the residual ones for the infested kit guns. The first one's called Residual Boils. 20% chance to grow cysts on the corpse for 12 seconds that explode for 80 heat damage in 10 meters and apply heat damage type to Theorem Arcanes. Okay, so I already like what I'm reading here because it sounds interesting and like it could open some build possibilities and some nice synergies. So it says it's going to apply heat damage type to Theorem Arcanes. We will have to read over what the Theorem Arcanes do after that. All right, Residual Malador. 20% chance to create a frigid mist for 12 seconds, creating 40 cold damage and applying cold damage to Theorem. Okay, so looks like we have Toxin, Electric, Cold, and Heat. 20% chance on all of them with a 12-second, like, basically, it looks like you'll kill something, and it will, oh, actually, no. Okay, so some of them are going, these two, the Fire one and the Shock one is going to create an after effect on the enemy's dead body, it seems like. And then the Ice and the Toxin ones will create a pool of something. I don't know exactly how that's going to work out, but those two don't explain corpses, the Toxin and the Cold one, but the Shock and the Fire one explain dead corpses. So, yeah, we'll see what this happens. It basically seems like it's a area of effect on the ground that they're going to adapt to the damage type you put on this Arcane. All right, so let's read these. I think the Theorem Arcanes are going to be the important stuff here. All right, Theorem Infection, the first Warframe Arcane. Standing in a zone created by a residual Arcane increases damage of companions and summoned allies within 60 meters by 4%, stacking up to 15 times. Effect persists for 5 seconds upon leaving the zone. Okay, so I think I understand what they're saying now. So they're going to increase the damage of companions and summoned allies by 4%. I believe that's going to be, because of these residual Arcanes, you can change it so it'll be, for example, if you're using residual Verimia, which is the Toxin one, you'll be giving your companions and summoned allies increased Toxin damage up to 60% if you have max stacks, and that's going to be effect persist 5%. Okay, so you have to stand in the zone. Okay, so yeah, you're going to have to stand still for, it seems, 15 seconds, 4% a second, up to 15 times. So if you stand in one area for 15 seconds on the corpse of an enemy you kill with an infested kit gun, you will give 60. Wow. Okay, this is absolutely garbage. You stand still for 15 seconds, and once you leave the pool that you stood in, you lose it after 5 seconds. And it's just 60% damage for your companions. That is absolutely garbage. That is absolute trash. They are out of touch. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Maybe the next one will be better. Theorem Contagion. Standing in a zone created by a residual Arcane creates a globe that orbits a player for 2 seconds, or every 2 seconds. The globes will strike the nearest enemy within 5 meters, dealing 100 damage and applying a status effect. Globes will persist for 8 seconds upon leaving the zone. 8 seconds after leaving the zone. At least you don't need to stand still. This one might be the best one, you know why? Because you don't need to stand still for 15 seconds. So you stand in the zone once, and you get an orb orbiting around you. I'm thinking about like the hammer if you ever played Diablo before, there's that hammer that spins around the Crusader. That's what I'm thinking about this. It will be like hitting enemies, colliding into them as they get near you. And if you can, okay, so this one might be the best one right here. Theorem Contagion. It will apply a status effect, so you can make it apply either heat damage or like electric damage for more condition overload procs. This should be good with melee. If you can build one of the infested kit guns for condition overload procking, Theorem Contagion might actually make it a little bit nicer too. Stunning the enemies potentially. And it does last for 8 seconds after you leave the zone, so it's still going to be crappy because you're going to have to kill an enemy with the infested kit gun to get this area in the first place, and you're also wasting an arcane slot on your Warframe. Don't forget, guys, these are Warframe arcanes, and you'll be wasting. You have to choose between Arcane Energize, Arcane Strike, Arcane Grace, etc., or this. Standing in a zone creates a orb that rotates around you and deals 100 damage. Okay? So keep that in mind when we're talking about these. You're using one arcane slot in your frame, and then you're also using an infested kit gun. We don't know how good they will be. The last one, Theorem Demulcent. Standing in a zone created by a residual arcane increases weapon damage by 4% a second, stacking to 15 times. Each effect persists. Okay, so this is just like the Theorem Infection one, but it's for primary damage. So you need to stand still for 15 seconds to get 60% increased primary damage, or it's weapon damage in general, not just primary damage. Sorry about that. So weapon damage increased by 4% a second up to 15 times. So 60% max damage, and it persists 5 seconds upon leaving the area. So yeah, nope. We already have arcanes that will give you, I think, like increased damage by 100%. So this is trash. All three of these are garbage. All three of these are complete garbage. I would say that maybe the only ones that will be good here are residual boils. And then, honestly, the infested kit gun arcanes themselves might be good for just a condition overload area on the ground. These are Warframe arcanes are not worth slotting at all. And at least the fact that they're really bad makes me not even want to grind them out. But I will do it just for the purpose of making videos on them, just to show. I mean, they haven't buffed the terrible infested pets yet, so I mean, might as well try, right? Maybe someday they'll realize. For those wanting to learn about the Alchemist frame, it will be on the next dev stream, but we have no date for the next dev stream, so who knows? Hopefully sometime in December. Tenogen round 19 coming to consoles. So that's part 1. Keep in mind, guys, this is part 1 of Tenogen 19. That does not have the Korra skin I have equipped right here. That's going to be containing... Let's just quickly show which stuff was in Tenogen round 19 part 1. I believe it was the Night Hunter Cyandana, which is going to be those like infested wings. Can you just sort by Tenogen here? Warframe. There's a Tenogen button. All right, sweet. All right, so it's sorted by recent. So I believe it stops like it's not sorted by recent. Well, you know what? Either way, guys, there's going to be certain things that are not in here that we got recently. The Nova Mithra helmet or Mithra skin did not come in this edition. Some things that will be coming. There's going to be the Night Hunter sign down, so let's just show that quickly. I think that looks pretty cool, but then again, it does not look as cool as it should have been probably. So there's that. I'm going to just let you know right now, it does stay closed a lot when it probably should stay open. And we've got the... This skin right here for Korra, this is not coming until who knows when. I like this skin personally. And I gave DE money for that. So, yeah, I better like it. I'm giving them money, right? You know what? I'll just have to link in the description down below what was coming in this update for Tenogen. But let me just tell you, I guarantee Xscale will get a skin, alright? Don't you worry, Xscale will get another skin. Revenant will not get another skin. And that's how the universe is supposed to be. So I'll talk to you guys next time. I'm sorry the Arcanes are so disappointing and that Nightwave is still going on. Like, this is pretty much like bad stuff in my opinion. Bad information. I don't want to be reporting this terrible news. But this is what DE is giving us nowadays. So here's the information for you guys. Deimos Arcana potentially get spoiled by people who have access to test servers. So I'll talk to you guys next time. Take it easy and peace.